is a trained animal expert. He's worked with dangerous animals all his life and knows how to ensure the animal's safety and his own. Please never attempt to get too close to a wild animal yourself.
Ever since I can remember, I've been interested in dangerous and exotic wildlife. But for the past 10 years or so, I've earned my living from photography. Traveling from my home in southern Africa to the ends of the earth to photograph some of the rarest and deadliest creatures in the world. If there's one place I can call home, it's here, Namibia, in southwest Africa. I moved here 20 years ago, attracted by an amazing variety of snakes and lizards, many of which are uniquely adapted to this region. My home, near the coastal town of Swakopmund, is on the doorstep of one of the harshest environments on Earth, the Namib Desert. Anything that can survive here has a remarkable story to tell, and I'm hoping to photograph what I consider to be the most astonishing survivor of them all. Only this time, it's not a reptile. Namibia is home to one of the only two populations of desert elephants in the world. But despite their size, they're incredibly difficult to find. In all the years I've spent exploring this desert, I've seldom been lucky enough to even catch a glimpse of these magnificent creatures. But this time, I'm aiming to get really close. I'm just 3 days into my assignment when I hear some exciting news. I've just received word from a pilot friend of mine who's doing surveying work up north. He spotted a herd of desert elephants and they've got a calf, and he reckons the calf is no older than a week. Now that's something interesting. I've been wanting to do desert elephant photography for a long time, but I've never actually pinpointed a group that I could follow and get involved with. Because spotting elephants from the ground is tricky. It's like being in a maze with rocky ridges blocking the view. If I'm to succeed, help from the air is essential. But it's very hard to keep track of these animals. They move over a vast area. But with my friend flying up and down all the time, there's a good chance that he could actually spot them every now and then, keep me informed on their movements. But it's not all good news. The elephants are 200 miles north of here, and in this terrain, that's a long drive. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to roar back to my camp, just pack everything in the back and get going north as fast as I possibly can. I often use my base camp when on assignment in the desert, but this time I need to be mobile. Well, I don't want to waste too much time. I'd rather get up north as fast as I can. My whole base camp can stay as it is. It's quite safe over here. It's not a problem. I just need to get together the basics that I need, and from here on, I'm probably just going to be living in my vehicle. There's no time to lose. The elephant herd is over 200 miles away, and in this terrain, I'll be lucky to average 20 miles an hour. All the time I'm driving, the elephants are continuing to move, probably managing at least 4 miles per hour. But they'll walk for 18 hours out of every 24. By the time I get to them, they could be up to 40 miles away from where the pilot originally spotted them. The trick for me then is to try and guess which direction they've chosen to go. The sooner I get there, the better my chances are. There are only 2 places on Earth where desert elephants can be found: on the edge of the Sahara and here, in the Namib Desert of southwest Africa. Desert elephants are not a separate species. They're exactly the same creatures as their savanna relatives, but they've learned how to adapt to life in this desolate place. Nevertheless, war, drought, and hunting have taken their toll. Just over a century ago, there were almost 3,500 of them. Now, less than 800 remain. Even more reason why finding a herd with a young calf would mean the world to me. And help is on the way. I've driven for 8 hours when my friend the pilot appears in his distinctive red biplane. There's nowhere for him to land here, and I wonder how he intends getting a message to me. Luckily, he has a plan. If I'm right, I've just taken delivery of everything I need to keep track of the elephants. That's if the contents of the package survived the fall. This box contains everything I need to be able to keep in touch with the survey pilot. I can put the coordinates he gives me into this handheld GPS, so I can head directly to where he last saw the desert elephants. And a satellite phone means he can ring me with updates whenever he's on the ground. I know that's where he'll be heading now, trying to find a landing strip so we can talk. I've known Graham the pilot for years, and he's always had an interest in Namibia's desert elephants. Even though he's on another job, I know he'll do everything he can to keep me up to date with their movements. As Graham flies off to find a landing strip, I set off for higher ground to make sure I can get a good clear signal. We need to talk. I have no way of knowing when Graham is on the ground or when he has his phone switched on. I'll just have to wait for his call.
I was flying today and I actually did manage to spot some and got a pen and paper there.
These 7-digit numbers are the coordinates of where Graham last sighted the herd. Once they're in my GPS, they'll allow me to find that spot to within 6 feet.
Multiple miles from your present position.
Unfortunately, by then, the elephants will have moved on. What keeps them moving is the endless search for food and water. With only a thin coating of dust to protect them from the harsh desert sun, the elephants travel huge circuits between available watering holes. The ability to remember the location of these wells is crucial. They are spread across a huge area, and elephants can only survive without water for about 4 days. In a drought year, the waterholes can easily be that far apart. For most of the day, the desert is silent. But as I make my way back to the car, a faint scrabbling noise from a recent landslide attracts my attention. I've got something very unusual here. I've got a monitor lizard. He's actually right under the rock. He's got his nose sticking out here. But normally these guys are puffing up and huffing and blowing when you come close to them, and he's like just holding you. And I can't see because there's so much rock, and I'm just scared of moving something in case it hurts him. God, he's stuck. He's pretty jammed in here. Really jammed. And he's a big boy. Let's just get the rocks out without hurting. Oh, here he comes. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got a rock right on his back leg here. Really tight as well. Really tight. Okay. Oh, I've got it. I've got it. Look at the size of this guy. He's not actually trying to bite. He's holding on. Oh, he's acting a bit strange. You okay? Look at that, man. I don't know how long he's been in there. You know, these guys will crawl into crevices. It's not unusual. But he couldn't wait to come out. He's like excited. He's getting pulled out. And he's not even trying to bite. Look, he almost looks like he's in shock. Oh, look at that leg. Oh, this leg is definitely hurt. He's gone completely stiff on this leg. There's definitely a problem here. I can see where the rock was lying. I'd have to be very careful. I'll just check him out. It's a possibility this bone is broken or hurt or the muscle is torn. I'd have to be very careful with him. I think the best thing I can do with a guy like this, take him down to the car and just examine him properly and then see if there's anything I can do for him. He might have been here for days, in which case he'd be thirsty. Can you lie on my shoulder? Without hurting that leg? Okay, I'll just put him there. Okay. There we go. Let's see if I can just take him down to the car and get out of this rocky area so I can have a good look at him. Today's journey is over. In this terrain, it's too dangerous to drive at night. I've covered over 100 miles, but when the sun sets, I have no choice but to stop. The elephants, however, just keep on going. In the cooler temperatures, they can make much better progress without losing valuable fluids. But as night falls, I worry that the elephants will simply spirit themselves away. If I can just get this bandage completely over the splint, I'd rather he didn't bend the leg. You know, he's moving around and these guys are strong and they're inclined to use their claws all the time. And it might be worth keeping him with me for a while just to make sure that when he goes back into the wild that he's able to actually fend for himself, because this is how these animals could so easily die. You're right, he didn't like that too much, but it's going to be strange for him for a while. Okay, relax, relax, relax. But it's the best thing I can do for him. I'm not actually geared up for this. I mean, a little plaster cast might be the idea. Don't bite me. Don't bite me, don't bite me. Please don't bite me. If this, oh, look at that. That's spirit. I'm doing it for your own good. See that? Look at that tongue. It says, oh man, what's going on here? Okay, I've got it in. Alright, he's in such good shape otherwise. I want to see if he can walk. Let's just put him down. You can use this, alright? It's very strong now, resisting me all the time. He's learnt now. I think I'm going to have to keep this guy with me for a while. He can travel with me, it doesn't matter. I can just keep an eye on this. And when I come back past his way, because I have to come back, I can just release him exactly where I found him. It's hard to imagine that any animals survive out here, let alone an elephant. But they know what they're doing. They're following a watercourse that has long since disappeared underground to one of the few places where it rises back to the surface. An adult female guides the herd along a route she learned from her ancestors. It's this uncanny ability to find water where it seems there is none that has always fascinated me about desert species. Although these riverbeds are invisible to me, every once in a while there'll be a telltale sign that there is water here somewhere. Wow, isn't this something else? This is incredible. This is the welwitschia plant, and you can see around here it's absolutely desolate. Nothing growing here except these welwitschia plants. It's amazing how they actually survive. Their leaves are very thick and leathery, as you can see, very thick and very strong. They actually only start their life with 2 leaves which grow out, one on each side. But over the years they split up into many different little branches and it looks like it's a multiple of leaves, but in actual fact this thing's base is just 2 leaves. This plant here in front of me could be anything up to 2,000 or more than 2,000 years old. Isn't that incredible? Just to imagine that's possible. They usually have a taproot that goes straight down and draws water from the bottom somewhere. And there is some theory that possibly they can absorb some moisture from the mist as well through these leaves. Whenever I see these plants, I always think it looks like a dead octopus, an upside down dead octopus. They're the most unusual plant in the whole world. It's a unique species, and they found only here in northwest Namibia and a little bit up into Angola as well, I believe. I've never been up there to actually see those. An incredible plant, most unusual flower.
Once you get plants growing, you get shade. And once you have shade, you find all sorts of things.
This is fantastic. I sort of half expected when I was hoping I'd find something. You see, the thing is that because this place is so arid, the only place little animals can hide is in these well witches. And of course, all the little lizards come here, all the little mice, everything. And so the snakes come here as well. And this snake's got himself so tucked in here you can hardly see him. He's in perfect camouflage. And it's a horned adder, and horned adders are pretty prolific around here. But this guy's really big. He's one of the biggest I've seen. I just want to scratch him out now. I've got a few photos of just the way he's lying in this white surrounding. It's almost white, and his coloring is exactly the same. But these guys have got a terrible bite, a really nasty bite. And it's a fast-striking snake. So I've got to be very careful. See if I can get him out just to look at. Oh, he's much bigger than I even imagined. Horned adders are normally only half this size. This is way above the average size. Look at this. Wow. I've got to be very careful because a snake this small can get to my hand that much easier. And they've got enormous fangs. A snake this size, you can see the typical adder shape, how broad the jaw is from the neck. Let me just bring him down. I want to have a really good look at that. Maybe I can just get his head if he doesn't mind too much. You okay? Okay. Oh, there were a little bit of resistance. That's it. I feel much happier when I've got him behind the head, because a large snake you can pick up and you've got a distance between the head and your own fingers. A little snake like this you haven't. And what we've got to look at this guy is the horns above his head, which gives him his name, horned adder. And some people think possibly that when the snake buries himself in the sand, which he does sometimes, that the sand then runs away over those horns and exposes his eyes so that he can still see above the sand. Look at the size of the fangs. Look at that. Wow, he's got a bit of, look at that. Wow, that's venom in the sac. You see, they have a sheath which covers each fang. Oh, he's bitten onto this. I just got to move it out slowly. A lot of venom in the mouth, a lot of venom dripping down there. Look at that. And if this guy bites now, that would be a terrible bite. I mean, these are cytotoxic venoms, tissue-destroying venoms. They cause tremendous damage to flesh. I wouldn't like to get that in my finger. But what I'll do now is just let him go very quickly. I've got to get my fingers away from there. Sorry, my boy. Oh, there we go. Probably if I brought... Oh, see that? Bring my camera in here. Whoopsie. Oh, a little snake like this. So brave, eh? I leave her exactly where she is. Cover her up a little bit so she feels very comfortable. So she's not so worried. And I can be on my way.
I need to get back on the trail of those elephants. I won't have the help of Graham, my pilot friend, forever, and I need to make the most of his sightings while I can. According to his last report, I'm getting pretty close to the herd I've been looking for. I'm on the trail of Namibia's elusive desert elephants, and Rocky, my traveling companion, is playing up.
Oh man, look at the mess you've made here. What's going on? Are you swallowing that? Oh, you're going to eat mine? Oh, there's only 2 left. These are supposed to last me for weeks. You've been in the whole box. Oh, well, he needs the calcium. He's obviously getting well. Oh, you like that. You like that. You finished the whole egg. Look at that. Look at all the eggs.
I can't blame Rocky for eating my eggs. Like most desert-dwelling animals, he's learned to take advantage of every opportunity that comes his way.
Lick up the rest. Clean it up. I want this car clean.
But the desert elephants keep moving on. They have to. They have survived here by learning how to preserve the limited sources of food and water they have. And that means never spending too long in one place. By moving on, they avoid depleting any one area of its natural resources. So there's hopefully something to eat or drink when next they pass by. My respect for the elephants grows with every day I spend in the desert. The search for water means everything here. Under normal circumstances, an elephant will drink anywhere between 30 and 60 gallons of water each and every day. It's hard enough for me to find a gallon of water to top up my car. This stuff might look pretty grim, but I'm lucky to find it at all. Like the other desert animals, I'll get it while I can. I just hope the desert elephants are having the same good fortune. For them, every day brings another battle for survival. Just look at this. This is absolutely incredible. This is a baby snake. It's a very young python adipsus. It doesn't even have a common name. It's a snake that gets quite large, about this size. It's not actually a python, but it's a little constricting snake. And he's got a lizard. He's caught a lizard and he's actually constricting it. He's got the lizard folded double here, tail sticking up. He hasn't actually been able to kill the lizard because the lizard's tail's still moving a bit, but he's got it constricted completely. The guy's tied himself around it. He's constricting it like he's a little boa constrictor. He's a powerful little snake. But he's only a tiny little harmless snake, and he's got a lizard that's about 3 times his own size. This is obviously his first meal in a long time. And it's a very young snake. It may be one of his first meals altogether. He's still a baby, tiny little thing. Isn't that incredible? I'm going to put him right back down exactly where I found him. Beautiful little snake. I'll just leave him alone, because if I upset him, he's going to let go and run, and then he loses his meal. So I'm just leaving him right like that. That baby snake reminds me how vulnerable all young animals are out here. And the elephant calf I'm looking for is no exception. A fact that's driven home as I try to find the way back to my truck. This is a real tragedy, a baby elephant dead in the desert sand here. You know, when I saw this carcass first, when I was approaching, I thought maybe this is the baby we've been looking for, the one they've been hearing about. But getting closer, I realized, look how tiny this trunk is. And the whole animal is almost folded in the fetal position. This is probably a stillborn calf. That's a tragedy. I mean, after carrying an animal like this for 22 months, can you imagine, then giving birth to a dead baby? I mean, there's so few desert elephants as it is, every calf counts. Really sad. But at least I know from this that this is not my animal that I'm looking for, and with a bit of luck I might still find that one out there. He should be about 2 weeks old now. But this is really sad. I don't like to see dead elephants ever. I'm more determined than ever to try to find my baby elephant as soon as I possibly can. It's 3 o'clock in the Namibia desert, but it's dark enough to be dusk. A large sandstorm is building up. Afternoon winds are fairly common at this time of year, but most aren't as violent as this one. Thousands of tons of sand moving at up to 40 miles an hour. I can't carry on in this. I need to find a sheltered spot and wait until it all blows over. The following morning, as I wait for Graham's call, I spot an ominous S-shaped trail leading under the front wheels of my vehicle. It looks like I wasn't the only one using my car to escape the sandstorm and the cold desert night. Guy's quite tangled up in here, and he's got himself hooked, but I've got his tail and I've got my sunglasses, and I've dropped the stick. I've got him, but I've loosened the lid. I'm going to have to get him out. This guy can spit. I'm going to have to drop the lid. I've got him. Wow. Western barred spitting cobra. These are one of the fastest and most dangerous snakes. Watch him come to me. Gorgeous movement he has.
actually moves with his hood raised. Isn't that incredible? He wants to get back to a hiding place. He sees the dark space under the car. Isn't that incredible? I love to watch the motion. Watch him spit. Oh, he's going for me straight away. Watch him, watch him. Watch his mouth. Watch his mouth just go slightly open. These are the best spitters in the whole world. They are incredible spitters. They don't have to throw their bodies. They don't have to move. As long as I'm moving very slowly. Watch if I make a sudden movement, how he spits straight at me. Watch this. All over my mouth, all over my sunglasses. With the sunglasses I'm on, I'm fine. Okay, I just got to be careful. No cuts, no wounds. This venom is fine. It can get onto your skin. It's not a problem. It can't soak into the skin. It's nothing to worry about. But if it gets into a wound, if you've got a cut on your hand or you get it in the mouth, you've got to be very careful. Some snakes have to throw the venom forward. These guys are such fantastic spitters. They have venom glands on each side of the jaw, surrounded by muscle, and all he does is contract the muscle, and that squirts the venom forward. Absolutely incredible. Really a fantastic snake. Come closer. Just keeping my mouth closed so he spits the venom. I mean, I can get venom in the mouth, I can taste a little bit, but it's not serious. And the important thing is to look straight at him. If I turn my head sideways and the venom goes behind the sunglasses, that's a problem. While he's like this, I'm fine. I try and take a few shots of him while he's in this fantastic position. I'm going to get a lens full of spit. No. See how alert he is. And you know, these other cobras, you fool with them and you try and tease them, you try and get them to go away from you, to look away. Look how he keeps steadily on me here. He keeps, I go to the side, he's not fooled by my hands at all. And I make a sudden movement and open mouth, and wow, look at this. Look how he startles and goes open. You don't know how people actually get bitten by snakes. I mean, the snake wants to get away. All he's doing is saying, let me go and I'll leave you alone. He's backing away. And as I go forward and I fool with him, so he warns me every now and then. Pop, gives a little bit of spray. It's almost imperceptible. He just lets you have it like that, and you've got enough venom to stop any animal dead in its tracks. You get one speck of that stuff in your eye. I wonder if you can see this. I wonder if you can see this. Eyes covered. See if you can see all the spray on that glass. Is it possible to see it? Tremendous amount of venom on there. Okay. All right, one little speck like that is enough to actually blind you if you don't wash it out really quick. And these glasses are covered with venom. Okay. Wow, so it's really not a snake to fool with. This guy, if you can avoid him, take him away, let him go. It's the best thing you can do. This is an incredibly dangerous animal. Oh, right in my face. I think I can feel some on my eyelash. I must be very careful. I'm coming very close now. I'm wondering... Oh, he's too clever. Do you know how I can sometimes get my hand right behind a cobra like this? And I can actually touch him behind the head if you keep his attention. Yeah, but you can see this guy's different. He's different. He's so aware of everything. I'm not sure I'd like to do that too easily, but just for one. Watch my hand. Watch this hand. Come on. Oh, have you ever seen a snake react like that? He's so much faster than other cobras. I mean, I've touched other cobras and actually stroked their heads like that. But this guy's so intent. And he's looking right. All right, guys, I've got venom in my eyes, in my left eye. So I'm going to quickly get some water. Keep dead still like that. Keep dead still like that. Everything stay dead still. Stay dead still. I've got to be very careful. I actually got a little bit of venom just on my eyelash. Only on the left side. But I want to put this guy away now. That was great. I'll get one more shot first. Get one more shot. What a shot. I'm going to take him a little bit away there, away from my car, away from my vehicle. Let him go into the bushes there and he'll be off like a shot. Let me just get your tail. I'm not going to hit you, I just want to bring you home. All right, oh, right in the face again. On the stick, he's giving it to me. I'm going to take him and let him go in the bush on the other side there. All right, carefully now, slowly. There I go.
After changing my venom-soaked clothes, I get the call from Graham. But the news isn't good. The weather yesterday kept him grounded, and the only coordinates he can give me are 2 days old. We arranged to speak later. Until then, Rocky and I are on our own. With nothing else to go on, I head towards the elephant's last known position. I've been driving for 4 hours and I haven't seen another living thing. Then suddenly, like a mirage emerging from the desert floor, this is sign language in the sky, and the meaning is clear. The elephants are over the very next ridge. And they're heading west. There's no easy way around. I need to take the shortest route possible and head up the ridge. It's a dead end, but although I know I'm close, I'm still not prepared for the sight that greets me. At last, I've found the desert elephants I've been looking for. These extraordinary animals have covered hundreds of miles since I started my journey, but finally they've reached an oasis with plenty of food and water. There's no sign of the 2-week-old calf I was hoping to see. Perhaps it died. Or perhaps Graham has led me to a different herd. But the good news is that there's not just one, but several youngsters here, between 3 and 6 months old. It's more than I could have wished for. I just have to get some photographs. Elephants have good hearing and a highly developed sense of smell, but they don't see really well. So if I move quietly and stay downwind, I should be able to get close. I mustn't fool, I mustn't block their path. I'm going to have to step back and get out their way. To get some good shots, I want to see the elephant's head on. But the most dangerous place to be is in between an elephant and where it wants to go. Can't stay here because I'm blocking their road. I'll let them come as close as I can. I start to back away, but I'm too close. At this range, any movement attracts attention, and I'm seen as a threat. That charge was just a warning, and a sharp reminder of the power of these colossal beasts. Oh man, that was close. I mean, that's really pushing it a little bit. Obviously, if I get in the way of these guys right in front of their path, I'm looking for trouble. But I'm more excited than ever because I know the direction they're following. And if I just move around and get ahead of them again, I've got another chance to get photos like that. I just got to be really careful, especially with that guy. He's really upset. Wow, yes! I was excited, but I knew I had to get more shots. Relying on the elephants to follow the winding route of the dry riverbed, I decided to take a shortcut. By heading up and over this hill, I should be able to join the riverbed on the other side before the elephants get there. Got it. I got the right place. When I was up higher up there, from what I could make out, the valley has to go this way. There's no way they can go up the hill, up the mountain. So I thought if I get ahead, I've got them, and I have. The whole herd is coming out. The whole herd is there. So I'm going to go a little bit close and see if I can get a few shots as they're coming towards me. But I've got to be very careful because if they see me and they know I'm blocking their path, they could get a little bit irate, especially since they've got young ones with them. I'm going to try and get right behind that tuft.
want to get really low down behind here. I mean, I've got nowhere to hide. Wow, look at this, look at these guys. They're actually coming directly towards me. Look at them all, they're all coming from behind. There's a whole lot. 1, 2, 3, 4 young ones, 4 calves. Incredible. And I'm hoping by keeping really low and really still that they're not going to actually hassle about me. So I better get a couple of shots. Isn't that fantastic? That's a complete herd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 animals, 11 animals. That's a big herd for a desert elephant group. These guys travel long distances in search of water and stuff. They battle, they live on the edge all the time. You've got to be very careful with animals like this because they don't take nonsense. What you've got to watch out for always is other animals close behind. I don't know if there's any others around me, and I've got to be careful that I don't get cut off and get trapped in between them. They're actually going to move behind me. I'm thinking just to stay where I am. I might just stay where I am and just take my chances. I've got to just watch very carefully any sign of any animals getting a little bit irate. They've actually seen my problem is I've got no cover from here. I've got to keep very... Oh, look at that guy looking at me. If I just keep very still and I don't threaten the babies anyway, they should let me go. That one guy's got a piece of stick stuck on his trunk. Oh, and I've got another one coming ahead of me. I'm a little bit surrounded, just what I didn't want to happen. Gonna have to move whatever happens. I've got elephants on both sides. Okay, he's changed his mind. He's coming straight towards me. But the herd is moving away. Okay, just hang on, hang on. What a shot, look at this. Isn't that incredible? And that's a young bull. The herd is gathered here waiting for him. I must be very careful here. He's worried about me. Dead still. Keep dead still.
He's definitely spotted me, and this time I've got no cover to run to.
Fantastic. Keep dead still. Man, my heart is in my mouth. I'm completely exposed here. And he's looking at me still.
Having checked out the vegetation, the bull now knows I'm the only threat in the area.
This might be more dangerous than it was earlier. Just stay as you are. Keep dead still. Keep dead still. Trust me now. Keep dead still, don't move at all.
Luckily, the young bull keeps going towards the rest of the herd.
Okay, okay, that's fantastic. And they're moving off into the bush. That is the most incredible thing I've ever done. I mean, I just love elephants. I'm going to move on a little bit ahead and just keep an eye on them. They're obviously going into the thicker bush there now. They've probably got a waterhole somewhere over there that they're heading for. Ah, unbelievable stuff. Wow, I'm going to follow them a little bit.
Words cannot describe what I'm feeling right now. As the elephants move on, I keep a respectful distance. And I'm rewarded with the honor of witnessing behavior that has gone on for countless generations. And I hope will go on for countless more. It is nothing short of a miracle that the biggest land mammal on Earth has survived here at all. But where once thousands of elephants roamed, now only a few hundred remain, and every new life is unbelievably precious.
Incredible, I've got the whole herd crossing. And I'm right up against them. But I'm looking into the sun, I've got to be very careful.
Taking pictures of babies.
I can't bear to go yet, but in the end, it's the elephants that leave me, melting back into the timeless landscape. I want to follow, but I think it's time for me and Rocky to go home. I hope you enjoyed your journey with me to find some of the world's most spectacular animals. Unfortunately, many of these animals are becoming very rare and very hard to find in the wild today. Animal Planet is proud to help in the conservation of endangered species. If you'd like to learn more about some of the animals you've seen on my program, you can help. Please go to our website. Go to animalplanet@discovery.com. Hope to see you there.